Super Bowl 57 is barely dead and gone, but Super Bowl 58 is already on the horizon and looking at some of the futures. Now, so full disclosure, Daddy before the season sprinkled a couple of jelly beans on the Chiefs to win, as well as Mahomes to get the parlay of the regular season MVP and Super Bowl MVP. So Daddy was pretty happy with the events of last evening. But looking forward to Super Bowl 58 and your Minnesota fighting Vikings, where, hey, they went 13-4 last year. They won the division. Playoffs, not so much. But Kirk Cousins had the best year of his career. Justin Jefferson ascended to wide receiver 1. And you would think that Kevin O'Connell on the offense will continue growing and showing, especially if they improve the interior offensive line and the defense just tear it down, rebuild it. Trust me, some Brian Flores. So you think that the Vikings would have pretty decent odds. Now, I say decent in that they'd be shorter, but of course, as someone who would like to put a jelly bean down, I want as long odds as possible. So in a way, the Vikings' disrespect, both from the general public as well as the books, actually works in our favor. So odds for Super Bowl 58 Championes. Now, a couple things that need to be taken into account. These are not true odds. Like, these are not specifically the way that the bookmakers see it. Now, it is to a degree, but there's a lot of leeway for where they expect public money to come in. Because, of course, with the Chiefs winning, people are going to pile drive them. You know, Mahomes going for 30 Super Bowls in a row. The Bills are always a hot name. The Eagles have that bandwagon. And young up-and-coming teams like the Lions and the Jaguars, a lot of people are going to be all up on there. So that's interesting. And national brands like the Cowboys, like the Steelers to a degree, like the greasy, grimy Green Bay Packers are always going to be shorter than true odds because jabroni's going to put their money down, and the books don't want to pay out extended amount. Whereas, flip side, if an area and a team is not getting a lot of money down, if a lot of bettors don't believe in them, the odds are going to be a little bit longer to entice them to go in that direction. So there's some really telling things about these odds. So the Vikings are listed with the 18th, tied for the 18th best odds to win the Super Bowl at plus 4,000, which is 40-1. So one time in 40 to win the Super Bowl to break even, and that's less than 1 in 32 since there's 32 teams out there. So that's super interesting. But the Chiefs are plus 600. I mean, the true odds for the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl again are probably, 10, 12-1, but they're halving that because they know that a lot of money is just going to be pile driven in on the Chiefs. The Bills are number 2 at plus 850. It's still going to be the cat's ass, even though that team actually has a sneaky amount of flaws, and they can't just keep relying on Josh Allen. And then you got the Eagles and the Bengals. Yes, the Niners. TBD what happens with the quarterback spot. Plus, I think they will miss DeMeco Ryans. I think the defense will be good still, especially with Steve Wilkes at the helm, but losing Ryans, that does kind of suck. Cowboys plus 1,500. Ravens plus 1,600 for now. If they do retain Lamar Jackson, if they lose him, I could see them tumbling all the way down to, 50-1, somewhere in that neighborhood. Chargers, trendy team. Yes. Now, what's interesting is that the Packers are still 25-1. So they're up there in terms of favorable odds. They're tied with the Jaguars, the Lions, and the Jets. The latter three are all the trendy up-and-coming teams, especially the Lions and the Jaguars. But the Packers, I don't get this one. I don't get it. Like, the Packers should probably have worse odds to win the Super Bowl than the Vikings, clearly. And Aaron Rodgers, maybe they're factoring that in, where I actually think that their chances are better with Jordan Love versus with the corpse of Aaron Rodgers, the 80-year-old octogenarian, Boniva, whatever. But so also you need to factor in that the Packers fans, nationwide fan base, they're still going to be betting on their team. It's fine. Rams plus 3,000. I don't know about that one. Dolphins. So I like Fangio coming in on the defensive side of the ball. I think if Tua can stay healthy, he's got all the weapons in the world, so that's interesting. The Browns plus 35. You do get Deshaun back. I don't know. The Broncos, no. I'm not buying the Broncos. I think the defense will be worse without Avero. I do think that Sean Payton will be a factor, but will he be enough to turn around Russ? No. Saints still need a quarterback. And now the Vikings are in the same tier as the Raiders, who have a lot of quarterback instability. TBD what happens there. The Giants, are they going to extend Daniel Jones? Are they going to extend Saquon? So there's a lot of question marks there. And then you get to the Steelers. I actually would take the Steelers. I just believe in Mike Tomlin. Like, that defense with TJ Watt healthy will be interesting, and I think Kenny Pickett in year 2 could be a little something. Panthers plus 55 to plus 5,500. Need a quarterback. Yeah. And then the rest of the way, it's just like whatever. The Bucks plus 7,500, no. And then you get all the way down where you got the Colts, Cardinals, and the Texans, 280 to 1. And not even going to entertain that. So, I mean, basically, it's a spot where you can almost rule out a third of the league in terms of winning the Super Bowl, although that is pretty dangerous since parity does reign supreme in the National Football League. But I don't know, right now, if I was going to throw a dart, a couple darts. Like I don't think the Chiefs' odds are very good. I don't necessarily believe in the Bills. The Eagles, kind of sucks to say, but I would think about the Eagles. The Bengals even get a little bit better odds, sure. And then in terms of just a complete dart throw, I mean, maybe the Jets. Maybe if they can get some quarterback stability. I don't think Rodgers is the answer, but I think he would be an upgrade over Wilson. Maybe Derek Carr with the Jets does make some sense in that spot. The Dolphins, 30 to 1. Sure. Vikings, of course, 40 to 1. Because I think that with an improved offensive line, this offense is going to be top 3. And the defensive thing just get mid. They'll be perfectly fine there. So I don't know. Like, yeah, of course, Daddy's always interested in putting down a couple of jelly beans, but nothing looks overly appealing, although the Vikings at 40 to 1. Of course, I just can't quit you. Shut up and take my money. Anyways, your thoughts are thoughts. Taking a look at the 2023 Super Bowl odds. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Once put the work, put a little something in the Venmo, but till next time, Skol, production value.